Picture this, you're on a deadline that needs to be submitted today, and you are tasked with the responsibility to do the visualizations. So on the one side, you have a great modeling tool along with Photoshop that are quite not giving you the style that you want. And then on the other side, you have the AI style rendering that gives you that great style, but it's not consistent and doesn't give you the control that you want. So now you're kind of stuck. Have you been there? Yes, me too. In the last years, I have really put together these workflow to create more consistent and controllable renderings. So now the results are a lot better with only minimal editing. So I have been working on this with about 10 or more clients. So we know like the process is repeatable. And in this video, I'm gonna show you my process, and I'm gonna give you a standard template that you can use and start getting the same results about the renderings. And with that being said, here's the method. Hey, my name is Danny. Welcome to the Visualization for Architects series, where we explore AI and visualization tools specifically for designers. If you like this video, please subscribe and like the video so we can show this to more people. And with that being said, let's go to the video. Okay, great. So we're gonna break these down in really easy steps to follow. And the first step is really about giving the AI the best input possible, which means is to give it a cleaned up floor plan. So whenever we are on a sprint or something, we tend to give something like this, right? And sometimes even more complicated things like dimensions and markers and everything like that. And what I would recommend people is to start giving the AI like a clean floor plan, right? Something that doesn't have room names, something that doesn't have dash lines of trellis above, something that is just clean, something that it just has. Like an example that I like to give is this one here, right? Like something that you can actually even put fills, so the AI understands what is grass, what is paved areas, what is potentially a pool. So even, and it doesn't have to be like perfect. It could just be like shades of color, right? So you have to understand that the AI is a great system of prediction. So for instance, if you do something that it's blue and you mention a pool, it's probably going to predict that that's going to be a pool and things like that. If you put like a pool, like a name there, it's fine, but it's going to eventually get confused. And whenever you render it, it might just do things like this where it will not get the name right. So you don't want to actually be putting room names or things like that. But you want to make sure it's clear, it's clean, no room names, no markers, nothing that might get confusing for the AI to understand. And the more direction you give it, then the better result is going to give you later on when you're going to give it your prompt. So these are some of the results that I have gotten, right? Like kind of based on out of the prompting, right? That is a little more photorealistic things. You can also get something that is a little bit more artistic, and you can give it a style. But the first thing to do is to make sure you give it a clean floor plan. So here's what we're gonna do on this second step. And the thing I wanna emphasize here is that it's kind of like planning. The better you plan, the better output you're gonna get. So now that you have already a clean floor plan that you're gonna use, now the next thing is to define the style and the materials and the tones you wanna get. So if you already have a style in mind that you want to get, you can go ahead, go to a Word document before you go into prompting and just try to define this style. Like try to think about like, okay, is this like a sketch render that I want to get, a photorealistic render that I want to get? And at the same time, start defining a little bit the tone and the palette that you want to have in this rendering. Is this rendering going to have stone? Is this going to have stucco? Is this going to have tiles? What type of tones you want to get? So for instance, in this one here, and if you feel like that's too much, I mean, again, it's just 5 minutes that you can go to Word and try to just type like 3 sentences that can define that. So or you can use an LLM. So for instance here, you can use this prompt here. Give me a prompt that defines the style of this image and be concise and short. And you can add the tones of the palette and be short and concise and keeping it in a prompt format. In that way, you can tell like you already have the style, the palette, and the tones that you want to get, and you can start refining it. But at least that's a lot already, a good start of the style that you want to get in these rendering. And now with that, we're going to go to step 3, and this should take 5 to 10 minutes most. And I know that you want to go render right ahead, but as I mentioned, the more you plan, the better it's going to be later on. So here is where in a Word document, what you want to do is copy the form, right? The style that you got already from the LLM or that you wrote. And then the only thing you need to do is just start adding a little bit to the material. So now that you know the style and the tone and the palette, you really start thinking, okay, what do you want? Like, is your floor plan, the interior flooring, what material? Is it wood flooring? Is the bathroom going to be tile? Like, start like defining what's happening, right? Exterior areas, do you want it to be stone? Do you want it to be, do you want it to be green grass? What else do you want? Do you want pool with water, right? Like, so it defines like there's a pool, right? And also the furniture, do you want soft tones? Do you want them to be black? I wanted to have the exterior walls to have like the interior and the exterior walls to have black fills, right? And then the most important thing, I think at the end, you want to make sure to add these rules here. Keep the layout 100% intact. Do not move walls, furniture, or appliances. Your only job is to apply the aesthetic, right? In that way, it keeps the structure consistent. It doesn't change the layout. And that once you kind of have those ready, you can copy that, right? Not this part here or that, but like just copy the whole, but in general. And now you have a very strong prompt to start with. Great, so we are almost there. So for this here, now we just copy what we got to the LLM here. So for this case, I'm using Gemini. And the reason why I'm using it is because of Nano Banana Pro. And I know that you can just use ChatGPT and other models are pretty good. But in my opinion, Nano Banana Pro is one of the best ones out there for rendering as far as giving you that control and consistency. So you are welcome to try any other one that you liked, but I have found really good results with Nano Banana Pro. And make sure it's the Pro version, right? In the Pro, and make sure that whenever you're using, if you're actually using Nano Banana Pro, that you're in thinking mode, because that's how it activates the Nano Banana Pro. If you're in fast mode, it's just gonna do the Nano Banana, so it's not as good. So you will always want to do the thinking. So that's it. So this is the image that I'm using, right, as a reference, right? As you said, like it's pretty clean and it has different materials here, like that it's gonna get. Along that, I am telling it, hey, I'm pretty much copy pasting. The only thing I'm adding here is the create image with this style, and then I'm pretty much just giving that, and I'm copy pasting the rules and everything else. And from there, let's see what we get. So I'm gonna click enter here. And this is what we got, right? Like, so you can tell how, for the most part, it did a really good job. It kind of went for the grass where the grass is. It did the, it did the pool where the pool is. It did the stone where the stone is to, it is. It created the black fills on the exterior and interior walls. It kept the tile there, and it kept the same structure. So if you compare it to the original image, look at it. It's exactly the same. It didn't do any change, at least not that I can see here. It respected everything. And that's the beauty of using this model here. It's you have a lot more control and consistency. And if you spend those extra 5 to 10 minutes at the beginning planning, you're going to get much better results later on when you start rendering, where it's a lot more control and a lot more consistent than before. And here you go, guys. So that was the holy grail of rendering floor plans with AI. And as you can see, that's the result. And here is a quick overview of what we see. And if you comment the word floor plan, I will send you the link, so you can download this template with you and you can have it as a guideline of how to render these floor plans with AI. And you can optimize it to do whatever style that you want. But the first one here, as I mentioned before, is to clean up the floor plan. The second step is to grab information about the style you want, the tone and the palette that you want. The third step is to copy that prompt and add your own little style of materials just to kind of complete the prompt, and then add the rules, which is to kind of, make sure like it's not gonna alter the structure or the layout of the floor plan. And also ask the question, tell it to ask you any question if it needs more information. In that way, if you, for whatever reason, is missing something, it can ask you that question. So that's really what it's about. You have to start planning more, and then you will get better results later. And I think that's one of the main things that people miss, and understand that once you get the result, a lot of times it's not going to be perfect. So you're going to have to do a few edits through prompting. And once you tried a few times the prompting edits, and if it doesn't work, then you might have to go to Photoshop. But just understanding that the Photoshop work is that last 5%. Ideally, the AI is going to take you 90 to 95% of the way there. And you're going to have to only spend like 5 to 10 minutes in Photoshop doing some minor edits. Because at the end of the day, you are the thought leader, and the AI tool is just assisting you to get to that floor plan that you want. And then just a last reminder that the clients that I work with, we normally do this agents. So I create these agents for companies, for architecture firms. So if you want assistance with these and other agents that can help your company, like create a lot more value, design more, and just be more productive, let me know in the comments below, and I'm happy to connect with you. And thank you so much for watching this video. If it was helpful, please like and subscribe to the video. And make sure to, there's other videos that you can look at. I'll put here in the reference in the YouTube channel here image. And if you like the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.